Hey people, it is Friday, August 2nd, about 8:30 in the evening and about 26 Celsius, feeling a bit warmer with the never-ending humidity we've been experiencing here in the city lately. But I have ventured out finally, now that the sun is setting. I'm on Yonge Street, just north of Gerrard. And very busy in downtown right now. So I thought I'd head north here up Yonge. And then maybe at some point I will venture off of the main drag here and check out some side streets. It's just a general sort of walkabout in the downtown on a very lively and warm Friday evening. And noisy. That little moped-looking thing made all that noise. My original plan was to try the $1 hot dog at IKEA, and I actually began that video, went inside the IKEA, went up to the order kiosk and tried to place my order, and apparently they're all out of hot dogs. I could not order my $1 hot dog, so I had to make other plans for a walk, so that one I'll come back to at another time. I'll probably have to go back at an earlier time to make sure I am able to get one of those $1 hot dogs. And we're approaching College Street. Got College Park here on the left. I do notice that it's not quite as humid though tonight as it has been in previous nights. I might actually enjoy this walk without ending up a sweaty mess by the end of it. Alright, let's cross to the east side of Yonge. Great building, too bad there's a weed store anchoring the retail there. And I'm doing my patented avoid the scaffolding maneuver here, walking along the curb. That's something I find myself doing more and more, as every other block in downtown Toronto has scaffolding.
There's another mall.
I do enjoy the energy of Yonge Street every time I walk along it. There's really nothing else like it in the city. And you could argue in the whole country. Kind of an interesting way they attempted to retain some of the history here with this sort of glass transparent facade here. Engine house number 3. They did retain the actual old clock tower though. That was also known as the St. Charles Tavern for a time, which I believe was one of the first gay bars in the city. Let's see if some of these retail spaces have opened up yet. These ones have been open for a little while, but the ones up ahead still seem to be on the way. Can't really tell if they're actually working in there or not. I guess I do see some boxes and equipment inside there. Will Japa Dog have $1 hot dogs? Or veggie dogs? I was planning to get a $1 veggie dog at IKEA. All right, here's Maitland Street. Maybe I will venture off of Yonge. We'll check out some of the side street action here. It's not going to be as busy, obviously, but there's often a good chill vibe on these side streets just off of Yonge. The neighborhood is quite dense with lots of towers, mixed in with old dense townhouses. And we have a new tower under construction here beside an old walk-up. I think this will be around 40 stories or so. And these ones are fantastic to look at. I'm not sure if they're fantastic to live in. That might be a different story, depending on who you talk to. I think these date from the 1950s. They're among the first sort of more modern high-rise apartments to be constructed in the downtown area. Approaching Church Street. Don't mind me, I'm just walking down the middle of the street here. So we're in the Village. Continue on a bit further west. O'Grady's is doing good business right now. On a summer Friday night, this neighborhood is usually pretty hopping late into the night. Church Mouse, one of the Firkin pubs. I'm almost tempted to take a walk along Church Street through here right now, but I'll stick to the plan.
I'm going to call you up.
This one doesn't seem to have a name. Oftentimes these old walk-up buildings have a kind of a cool name. Sal Curry Hall. You can't go wrong with pillars, in my opinion. Stick a few pillars in front of a building and it's suddenly 10 times more awesome looking. This one's all boarded up. I wonder if there's a development proposal here. I don't remember seeing one. Yeah, it is completely abandoned and boarded up. a sick kids building here. That's quite far away from the sick kids hospital. This one has a name, Jarvis Court. Two adjoining buildings here. Because Jarvis is just right ahead of us. I don't think I'll go any further east. Here's the other side of Jarvis Court. So we're heading north now on Jarvis. And to keep the Jarvis theme going, across the street is Jarvis Collegiate. Rather imposing high school. Those steps are pretty awesome there. Being put to use right now. I think more people should use big staircases like that to sit and chill. All right, now here's Wellesley Street, so I'll just keep going north. I recently walked along Wellesley Street, so I don't really feel like I need to do that again already. Well, I guess I can make this light. This is a behemoth of a slab. Another one of those older modern apartments. That one looks more like from the 60s though, a bit later. The 60s is when Toronto really became a city of high-rise living. When these tall, slabby apartment buildings sprung up literally all across the entire city and region, not just in downtown by any means. Way out to the farthest reaches of suburbia, there would be huge clusters of these towers. It's often compared to like something from the Soviet Union at the time, and they're nicknamed commie blocks accordingly. That'll take us over to Barbara Hall Park and back to Church Street. I think this is Gloucester Street coming up. Let's take a walk back west. Some of the old Victorian homes sort of nestled in between all the taller buildings. Very cozy feel on these side streets. Some of the buildings are bland though. It doesn't take away from the urbanity of the area though. That's a great one. Does it have a name? I just see an address. Back to Church Street. Looks like we have a situation down there. I think it's at Barber Hall Park. Oftentimes there are interesting characters congregating in the park. Not always up to good, to put it diplomatically. Obviously, a lot of people in distress also can be found hanging out in that park. So hopefully everything is okay. That cluster looks like a mountain. Just a mountain of condos. But I want to cross Church Street. Doesn't seem to be acknowledging the fact that I'm waiting to cross. Maybe I'll just cross after these cyclists go by. I think the coast is clear.
Cheers, 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 cheers. Happy birthday.
Continuing along Gloucester. That one's called Bloor Yonge Tower. It's kind of funny because it's not exactly tall. Like, I mean, it's a high rise, but just barely. You don't necessarily think of tower when you look at this building. And Bloor Yonge is quite far away from here. It's a good 10-minute walk away, at least, to Bloor Yonge. Maybe we'll go to the real Bloor Yonge Tower at the corner of Yonge and Bloor. There's actually a tower on all four corners of Yonge and Bloor. Including what will be a super tall. Here's another fabulous 1960s era commie block. And I thought I might have walked through here, but it's still fenced off. It's taken them an awfully long time to complete this upgrade here of the linear park. You can see that stretch of it is open. And there's looking towards the real Bloor Yonge Towers right over there. Nice dramatic lighting. And one of the weirdest pieces of public art in the downtown area. It is what it is. You can't say it's not art.
It's good.
No, I feel like, yeah.
All right, instead of walking straight up to Yonge and Bloor, let's cross here and we'll continue on along Irwin Avenue.
Where? Yeah. I know. I was really confused when I saw it.
It's a pretty charming little side street as well.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I don't know why. Is this off the street? No, it's here.
I hear the Bee Gees doing Night Fever, kind of fitting, I think, for this walk. I think I made that the thumbnail title of a recent video of mine, actually. Guess I can't use it again. They're kind of nice. I'm not sure how old these are. And I just kicked a piece of broken sidewalk or something. More on this side as well. Are these old or are these newer? They kind of look like they're newer. But they did a good job at making it not so obvious. I could be wrong though. I don't see any heritage plaque or anything indicating if they are old or not. They could be like 50 years old or something. When I say new, I don't mean within the last 10 years. I just mean not from the 19th century, which many of the townhouses in this area are from.
Same thing. So they saw us riding our bicycles.
All right, we're coming up onto Bay Street. Looking south. But we're going to head north. Have I ever walked down Inkerman Street? I don't think I have, but I'll save that for another time. And apparently this is called Bay Clover Hill, this area, according to the street signs. And I just noticed the Beatles inside there. Hello, lads. This is one of the Firkin pubs. Always British themed. And unfortunately, the sweating has definitely kicked in now that I've been out here for a little while. But not quite as bad as in days past. Jeez, why are you honking at me? I'm still crossing the road, you dipshit. It's because I looked the other way. That happens every time. I could have the green and cross the intersection, but if I happen to turn my camera another way to pan over, to look down the street, then they honk. Crossing Charles Street. See, dare I look over here while I walk across on the green? I couldn't possibly be knowing where I'm going if I look over there while I'm walking in another direction. Walking past the Manulife Center. And the big Indigo bookstore. I suppose it's closed now. What are the hours here? 9 p.m. I'm guessing. Yeah, 9 p.m. Except for Sundays, 8 p.m. So it just closed about 5 minutes ago. There's Bay Street Video. That is a landmark of downtown. One of the only places left where you can still go and rent or purchase DVDs. And their selection is pretty much unparalleled in the city. You can find obscure movies you never thought you would be able to just walk into a store and buy on DVD. And we're approaching Bay and Bloor. Got a random teenager making woofing noises. That's something I'm glad I never did when I was a teenager. I hate to look back and think, boy, what a dumbass was I. I did some pretty dumb things though, don't get me wrong. But woofing noises at random people on the street while you're passing in a vehicle, no, definitely didn't do that. I think that takes a particularly special type of dumbassery. And is this live music? What is this here? That's unexpected music. Oh, she's live. All right, but she's playing to a backing track, so maybe I should just continue on there because the backing tracks are what do you in sometimes. Check out that dramatic new skyscraper towering behind the Holt Renfrew Center. It's all dark because it's under construction. No one lives in it yet. I guess I don't have to worry so much about copyright music appearing in my videos because now there's that awesome new tool that YouTube introduced to remove a song while retaining all the regular background noise. I've used it once so far and it actually worked pretty well. It's just a force of habit for me to start talking over music whenever I encounter it though in these videos. Once you've been burned a number of times, it's hard to break old habits. But we are approaching the real towers of Bloor Yonge. Thinking, should I try and cross the street here? I'd like to avoid this construction hoarding here. Let's take a chance. Let's see if I can dash across the street. Let's add some excitement to this walk. These cars are going to come to a stop here. All right, let's do it. Is there anything coming? Nope, I'm good. Jaywalking is perfectly legal in Toronto. as long as you don't impede the flow of traffic, and that traffic was not flowing, so I didn't impede anything. So I was perfectly justified in crossing there. And I avoided walking underneath all that. Now that the cladding has gone so high up, this building is looking much more impressive, much better idea of what it will eventually look like when it's topped out. That's the one. It will eventually top out at either 85 stories or 91 stories. It's still up in the air which one it will be. But here we are at Bloor and Yonge, so I'm going to start to wrap up this walk. So I hope you enjoyed the sort of wander around downtown, mostly the more northerly side of downtown, starting at Yonge and Gerrard and making my way northward and a bit eastward as we explored some of those side streets. But eventually making our way back here to Yonge again. So leave a comment down below if you enjoyed or not. And let me know your thoughts if you like. And also make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And hit that notification bell also, that way you won't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store, or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue